Hi everybody, welcome to another video on the channel. Thank you for being here, and if you've been a long time subscriber, thank you for all of your support. And if this is your first video on the channel, welcome. In today's video I'm going to do a sort of a technical workout where I'm going to address the sort of three big things that I see with people's technique. And so we're going to do a warm-up flow and then have a couple of drills to address a couple of those things. So if you can get those two things figured out, then you're going to be doing a lot better on the machine. I've got a new angle here on the camera. Finally got this room in a place where I can put the camera on by the side, so hopefully that's a little bit more of a value add, so you can actually see what I'm doing in profile view. In today's video, I am going to be rowing on an RP3 machine. I'm blessed and grateful that I have one of these machines. It's a dynamic rower. If you don't have one of these machines, that is completely fine. Maybe you have a Concept 2, maybe you have a water rower, something like that. That is all good. It's just I'm putting in a fair amount of meters on this machine. It does move around, so it does create the movement of the mass of the boat. It's a very good machine in terms of learning how to move a boat well, and it transfers well to being on the water. Okay, so in this video it's going to be about 35 minutes long, and we're going to go through some drills. We're going to do a warm-up drill, and then we're going to do a couple more drills to fix some things. Specifically, the three big things that I see people not quite getting right is, first of all, sitting on the seat. So sitting on the seat, the way that I describe sitting on the seat is, imagine that you're wearing a pair of jeans, and those jeans have back pockets. You want to sit on the machine so that those back pockets are facing directly behind you. The mistake I see is people sitting rather on top of their pockets, and that causes problems when you want to kind of swing forward. It's very important that you're able to pivot around the hip. So the fix is to make sure you're sitting on your sit bones, another way to think about it, and make sure those imaginary back pockets are facing the wall behind you. And now if I do that, I'm able to get some hinge around the hip. And so that leads me to the second point, which is swinging over into the body over position here and making sure your shoulders are in front of your hips. So when you finish the stroke, the arms go away, the shoulders follow, and we're getting into this position here, which really sets the length of the stroke and the sequencing next. Typically, problems at the catch are caused by not hitting this position. And then the third issue is at the catch, learning how to push the machine away initially and not try to work the handle too much. Yes, the handle is going to work with us if we're engaging in our core, but we're looking to push the machine away and connect the hands with the feet, and then only later on open the body up and bring the arms in. So I'm going to address those things. We'll do a few warm-up 15s, and then we'll get into some just an abbreviated fartlek workout where we talk a little bit about how to apply power at low rates so that you can apply power at the higher rates. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and as we go. So you don't need to set your machine up for anything in particular. You could, if you're on a Concept 2, you can do a just row. And so we're going to go through these different things. And without much further ado, we'll get into the rowing. So we're going to start with a pick drill to start. If you've never done a pick drill, basically the pick drill starts at the release position right here. Notice I've got my elbows level with the handle. We're not dropping down here. We're not collapsed down. We're supporting our core from both front and behind. And our pick drill just basically starts off with arms only. And then we add the body in, and then we add more slide as we go until we end up in the last phase of the pick drill rowing, sort of a normal rowing stroke with full length, okay? So I'm gonna talk you through this, and here we go. Ready? And arms only, ready, and row. So what I'm doing here is just making sure I'm nice and sharp and connecting my hands with my feet. There we go. And you'll notice that even if it's arms only, I am just making sure I'm nice and sharp. That point where my connection with the machine has to happen. And you can see my force curve in the top right there, where that's a graph that shows me, okay, what kind of force am I putting on the handle at any given point in the stroke. And what we're looking for is a quick pickup, and ideally we're looking for shapes that look convex and haystacky rather than shapes that kind of collapse in on themselves. So, hands to feet. Even though I'm arms only, I'm still activating my legs and my core. They're not moving, but I am activating them. And this pick drill, yes, it's a warm-up drill, but it's also an opportunity to row well. All right, so I'm starting arms only. I'm doing a little tap down at the end of the stroke because I'm used to rowing in a boat. Some people argue you don't need to do that. Not getting into that conversation right now, but you can do this, right? This is okay. Just putting the hands straight in and straight out. I tell people to imagine there's an imaginary table out in front of them, and they're just running their hands along the surface of the table, and that keeps the drive nice and horizontal. All right, we're gonna add the body in. So making sure that we're sitting on the seat correctly, I'm gonna go ahead and add the body in. Into 1, 2, and there we go. I'm swinging now, right? And you can see that I'm pivoting around the hip. And I think it's okay to relax your knees. See how I'm relaxing my knees a little bit? Like, we don't want the knees to come up very much, but if you don't quite have the mobility around the hip, trying to keep your legs just kind of bolted down isn't that helpful. So if the mobility isn't quite there, relax the knees, soften them, and that gives you a little bit more pivot around the hip. Here we go. And I'm trying to finish my back and my arms together. That's it. Swing. About 3 minutes in. Still sharp. Still rowing well. That's it. Swing. All right, we're gonna go and add in half slide. Half slide is the back and the arms, and then we flow onto the slide about halfway up. In 2, in 1, on this one, half slide. There you go. So now we're moving. I'm making sure my hands are smooth. Hands, body, then the slide. The speed of the hands out controls the speed at which the knees break. You can see I'm getting my center of gravity this way. There we go. See, I'm letting it flow. Try and draw my handle in a little bit lower, lifting up a little bit. Relax. And everything's controlled. Swing. So what's happening when I swing over is I get connected with the footboard. If I don't swing over like this, it becomes much harder to control the footboard. So let me demonstrate. Because I'm swinging over like this, you can continue to row if you like. I've got all this control on the footboard. I've got this machine. I'm one with the machine. there. Because my center of gravity is that way, and I've hinged at the hip, I'm able to really control that, right? If I'm not sitting on the seat correctly, then that becomes a lot harder to do, right? So that's why we swing over, weight in the feet, and now I've got control. And I'm easing that machine underneath me. Yep. Good. Letting the arms flow. Now the other thing I'm doing is rotating my elbows down a little bit so that I get my lats involved. Your lat muscles are right here. That's what we want to suspend through. So this rotation of the elbows down a little bit helps me get those lats switched on right here. Flow. Yep. And we'll go full slide in 2. That's 1, 2 on this one. There we go. Float. Swing the arms away, body. It's like the elbows are bringing the shoulders forward. And we're not letting the knees rise till I've got that upper body angle. Forward, shoulders in front of hips. Yeah. Good. And the idea is we sting through the stroke, accelerate, and then run. Sting and float. Sting, float. Sting, float. Coached by the name of Mike Spracklin, came up with the concept of sting and float. Sting and float. So you're sending things, you're also giving time to relax on the slide. Putting a little bit more pressure on it now. We're just rowing out. Gonna do another minute or so, then we'll get into the drills. Accelerating through, trying to finish my back swing on my arms together, letting it all flow. How we doing? Good. Finding that rhythm on the paddle. Okay, so now I'm going to add a swing drill, and I'm going to do rock rock and roll drill where we're going to pause at the release. I'll demo it here. So we're pausing at the release, right? We're sitting up. We've just drawn that in. Elbows up, right? And then I say row, and we swing over into that body over position, right? As you warm up, that's become a little bit easier. Now, once we've hit this position, we row. And then we're pausing back here at the release position and rock. Just rock over. You can feel my weight transfer into my feet. Now I can row. I've got that control. I'm not rushing. And rock. There we go. And row. So this is where I see rock, things breaking down. Not getting that body set. Rock and row. The thing about that rocked over position, rock, is it sets the length of your stroke. Now everything above my hip is ready and I can go. Row. Rock, flow, and row. Notice that once I've rocked over, rock, nothing's changing above the hip. I'm just rolling in and changing direction of the catch. No need to reorganize. This sets the length of your stroke. Here, row. Rock. And row. Rush that one a little bit. Rock. And row. Rock. Relax. And row. And really in that rocked over position, get a little tension in the hamstrings. Basically, I'm getting myself ready and activated a little bit in the lats here. Roll the elbows down. And now I'm connected. And rock and row. So this is one of my go-to take video of yourself row. And see if you are rocking over. Rock into that position. And if you're not, this is the drill for you. Row. And rock. And row. And rock. Pivot at the hip. Row. Rock. And row. Rock. And row. Okay, now we'll come out of the drill, but make sure you bring the drill into the rowing. So, ready, go. Making sure I rock over. Did I hit that position? Yes. Making sure I get there before softly releasing the knees. Good. Rock. Rock. Good. And I'm inching this machine towards me. Got a little bit of hamstring activation, controlling myself forward. It's all got to flow. Yep. Really trying to concentrate on not drawing up too high. It's a mistake I make. Throwing it out. Good. We doing all right? Spin. Relax. Yeah. see how one part naturally flows into the next part. Rhythm. Sting, float. Sting, float. Patience, spring. Patience, spring. Trying to get that length. Woo. All right, for the next drill, we're going to work on the catch. So I'm going to row another 30 seconds, and we'll get into some catch work. Two will wane up. That means stop. Two, okay. So the third big thing I see with people who want feedback on their technique is at the catch. So here we are at the catch position, right? Which, note, we've got that forward body angle figured out at that body over position, right? I'm a little undercompressed here, right? But this catch position, it's okay to have the heels lift a little bit, right? But get them down, first get them down quickly. So that first part of that leg drive actually is a little bit more like a leg extension machine than a leg press. Once we've got the heel down, and if you're lucky or you've worked hard, your heels don't come off the footboard, which is even better, right? Then what we're trying to do is push the machine away. We're not trying to work the handle, even though the handle's gonna come with us, but we're engaged in the core, and the drive starts down here, right? It starts by, really my focus is a good activated upper body, right? And now I'm pushing the machine away here, rather than trying to pry the handle initially, okay? So this drill is 5/2 of the top half of the slide. So what it looks like is from there to there, right? I'm gonna try and sit up a little bit more. I've got a little bit of back there that I wanna sit up a little bit more. But there's your drill, right? So it's 1, 2, and what I'm feeling is, are my hands connected to my feet through my core? So it's not just push the legs and don't worry about activating anything else. You are always connected from hands to feet, even if what I'm coaching right now is a push. There, I'm relaxed in the shoulders. I rotate my elbows down, I can feel my lats switch on, and it's quads and lats right here. All right, so the drill is 5 of these and then a full length stroke. So here we go. 1, 2, that's probably a little too much. 2. But notice I'm not trying to open my back up here. That's 3, 4, 5, and now a full. Always integrating it into the whole, right? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now a whole. The reason I'm suggesting this drill is that I see a lot of this, right? We're opening up because we think we have to pull the oar handle, but rowing is a pushing sport, right? So we're pushing. You can see how the dynamic machine here is kind of simulating, okay, that's how that system's going to respond. That's 3, 4, 5, and now full. Integrated into the whole. 1. And there's a reason I'm stopping at 90 degrees here, right? That's 3, I think. 4, 5. While I'm stopping, full stroke. is when I hit that 90-degree position, that's the cue to start opening the body up, right? But I want to keep suspending here. 2, 3, 4, 5, and now push. And what I'm trying to feel here is just a little bit of weight come off the seat. If I'm really fully suspended, right? I'm trying to get a little bit of weight off the seat. 4, 5, and now push. Yeah. Right, so it's pushing, it's getting the weight suspended from the handle to the feet. Feeling that. That's 3, 4, 5, and now we're sequencing the drive correctly. One more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now a whole one. All right, now let's bring it into the hole. Here we go. So now what we've got is between those 2 drills and sitting on the seat correctly, we've got this nice flow off the back end, hands, body, flow. And we've got this nice push off the front end, keeping things lively. Just got to be patient. Sharp yet. Yeah. Connected. Okay. Row it out. There we go. Good. Well done. Swing and flow. Swing here, flow. Okay. So now we're going to warm it up a little bit more. A bit more intensity. We're going to do 3 15-stroke bursts. And we're going to bring the rate up a little bit. So the first one, low rate, 20 strokes, 20 strokes a minute. And we're going to do 15 strokes. Ready? So it's 15 strokes out of 20. Ready? Build for 3. Here we go. 3, 2, build. 1, now. Relax. Yeah. More. There you go, right? So there's just trying to keep everything oiled and organically moving along. Now we're paddling. Maintain the technique. Don't let it fly away on you. Here we go. Okay, so in these power pieces, the way I think about it is on the way forward, I'm like a spring that's gaining potential. And then on the drive, I'm letting all of that potential spring into motion. So I'm keeping things relaxed, yet dynamic on that drive. There we go. So we'll do another one now. This time we'll go to 24. So it's 15 strokes again at a 24 strokes per minute. All right, here we go. Couple more. Okay, build in 3. I'm building for 3 strokes. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Good. Find my rhythm. There it is. Good, and paddle. Right back on the disciplined paddle. Good. Staying long. Never letting anybody know how hard you're really working. That's all the control and discipline we need. Again, I'm not trying to push big watts here on the power. I'm just, if I were rowing in a boat, staying disciplined with those around me. Good. Sending in that power smoothly, accelerating. Through to the release. Here we go. There we go. Maintaining the technique. All right, so this last one is at a 28. So we still want to concentrate on that ratio so we hit rhythm, and we're getting the rate on the power. We're not trying to chase it on the recovery. We're getting to 28 by being nice and relaxed, loose, springy, like that spring uncoiling or coiling up, depending on how you look at it. All right, here we go. 15 at 28. And I build for 3. I feed that power in, not trying to do too much too early, but as the wheel picks up, feeling that and springing more power in as it goes. Here we go. In 2, in 1, build for 3, build, 1, 2, 3. Smooth. There it is. Spring. And relax. So hopefully you got that feeling of glide. Even though we're clipping along at 28, we're allowing ourselves time comfy to set the body, get our center of gravity forward, controlling that slide and staying long here. Get back to rhythm. Always come back to discipline. Good. Okay, I'm gonna easy in 30 seconds. Grab some water. That's it, back out to length. There we go. Just tapping it along. Easy in 2, 1, 2. Good. Okay, so my Row Perfect says, I've done 20-25 minutes. So actually we've done pretty well so far to get to this point. Excuse me. So grab some water. Here's a natural breaking point. And we're gonna finish off this session with 520s, right? So this is an abbreviated fartlek session. It's by no means what I would say a full one, but depending on where you're at. So it's 100 strokes, and we're going to do 20 strokes at power, but we're gonna start at a 20. And then every time we finish, we're gonna paddle for a little bit, and then we're gonna bump the rate up too. So we're gonna bump it up to 22 for the second one. Paddle it out, bump it up to a 24. Paddle it out, bump it up to a 26. Paddle it out, and then up to a 28 to finish with. Now, this is fartlek training, right? Where it's speed work. We're doing intense efforts of 20 strokes. So really trying to pile in the power at the rate, whatever rate we're at. We don't have to wait to be 26, 28 to bring the split down. And that's called connection and drive and acceleration. So we don't need to go high on the rate, but we are going to learn how to connect and really move the machine efficiently, or the boat at the low rate. And that kind of a drill allows us to perform well when the rate comes 30, 32. Now, you can continue this drill. You can go up to 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, right? Depending on where you're at. I'm just giving you an example of some training that you could do. It's actually a lot of fun because it's not a long effort, but we're just looking for quality on these 20 stroke bursts. So, forgive me while I get a bit more water. Hopefully you're getting something out of the video, and you're getting sort of a coached session. I might do something similar with one of my live sessions. Hopefully this following along is helpful. Okay, so we're going to do 5 20-stroke pieces. We are going to spread them out with some paddle in between, but we basically got 100 hard strokes left today. So we're gonna make every single one count, try and get into the rhythm, hit the rate early, hit the power early, not take 10 strokes to get into it, and then finally do the final 10 strokes. Be on it from stroke number 1 and get some work done, okay? And hopefully learn some things in the process. All right, so off we go. Back to the paddle, right into long paddling, right? These strokes matter too, not just the hard strokes. All right, here we go. We're gonna go 20 strokes a minute for 20 strokes. Let's take about a minute. Here we go. In 3. 3, build. 2, build. 1, build. Go. Send and run. Good. Relax. Spring.
and paddle and paddle. Good, so I was about a 157 on that. And again, I hope you can see that every stroke counts, right? How we apply force and accelerate and attack it, but at the same time, be in control and find that groove, find that rhythm at 20, find that rhythm at 22, find that rhythm at 24, and then groove on that rhythm. All right, we're gonna go again, this time 20 strokes at a 22. And we're gonna go in 15 seconds. So depending on what you wanna do on this, bring the rest time down, but considering I'm coaching it, this is what I'm gonna do. Here we go, build for 3, out of 22. 3, 2, 1. Nice. And paddle. To be honest with you there, I found quite a nice rhythm, and that meant I lost count. But I think we were about 20 on that one. What I'm trying to do is be sharp at the front end, yet paradoxically be patient, right? Let my weight, my body weight load up on the handle, feel that positive connection, and then go, right? And that's a knife edge, right? Too hard, too explosively off the front end, you waste the energy. Too soft, you missed it. So I want you to explore that on the next one. We're at 24. We're gonna go at 24 strokes a minute for 20 strokes. And we're going in 10 seconds. Here we go. All right, build for 3, up to a 24, then 20. Here we go, ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Good. Well done. Back to the good paddle, even if it's very light. Here we go. Back to length. All right, we got 2 left. So the next one, the penultimate 20, is at 26. But I would say if you're somewhere between 26 and 28, that's okay. All right, we'll see where we get to, but don't rush the slide. Get the 28 if you're going for the 28 through the drive. Yes, you're going to be moving quicker on the recovery, but that's how you create the time on the recovery, by making sure that you're finishing each stroke. Finish the stroke you're on. All right, we'll go in 10 seconds. 26 to 28, 20 strokes. Spring and go. Ready? Build for 3. Go. 3, 2, 1. Go. Halfway. Good. That was a good burn. How you doing? Good. Still with me? Excellent. Okay. Last one. Out of 28 to 30, all free rate. So if you're feeling good, as long as you keep the principles that we've been working on intact. So don't rate 40 and lose that control. Much better to be at 32 with rhythm, moving the boat, rather than spinning your wheels. You got this. All right, last one, we're going in 30 seconds. Lengthen back out. And this one's free rate, but it's quality. It's quality. 10 seconds. 5. Okay. Build for 3. 3, 2, 1. Go. Down. Whew. Good work. Good work. Okay. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty worked out. Okay. We'll cool it down for a few minutes. Keep the technique. Lengthen out, back to control, swinging at the hip, pushing the machine away. And we'll go back down to the pick drill, but we'll do it in reverse. So, we're at full slide. In 2, we'll go half slide. 2, 1, half slide. So the finishing where we started. Rowing back to the dock well. Still sharp. Okay, you don't have to do a ton of pressure, but you can make your changes in direction at the catch accurate. And we'll go a body swing in 2. It's 1, 2, back to the swing. Here we go. Try and keep my head up. Still sharp. Keep my legs down. Practice what I preach. Good. Okay, arms only in 2. That's 1, 2 on this one. Sharp again. Every stroke counts. There we go. Good. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Okay. Good work. So, thank you for watching the video, for being a part of the community. As always, your support of the channel is greatly appreciated. So if you got something out of the video, please like, share, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Please share the video to those that you think might find it helpful. I'm an online rowing coach. Many of you read articles on my website. I try and put out as much value as I can. If you need help with your rowing, you've got a specific performance goal, or we've got indoor season coming up in the winter, and you want a structured plan and some expert help to individualize that plan for you, I'd be happy to help. I offer free 30-minute consults to anybody that wants to sit down with no expectation of anything in return. It's just very good to meet fellow rowers. I have ErgZone plans. You can find them on my website or on the ErgZone platform that range from learn to row programs and scaffold up to, elite level 2K programs, depending on your experience level. But it has been great to get this video out. I'm very happy now that the camera is on for the side. Hopefully you find that helpful too, so you can see a little bit better about what I'm doing. And thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. All right, cheers.